Butt ass.
Seriously, if you follow Destiny, now's the time to watch it because this is his downfall. This is the end of Destiny right here. And I told Mike this. Mike was like, "Oh man, he's going to be on CNN tomorrow." I'm like, yeah, for what? For having the meltdown that he's having right now? You got to remember that Destiny, Jasmine Jafar, Farah, Pixie, Not So Erudite, let's see, Philion. I can't remember the rest of these guys. These are people who were political operatives. Their influence was bought by a political action committee that goes by the name Progressive Victory. They are the ones who are out. In fact, I would not be surprised if this Thomas Matthew Cook is not also part of Progressive Victory. I would not be surprised, or has made donations or has some sort of connection. That's why these guys are twisting in the wind right now, trying to figure out what their narrative is going to be. There's no getting around it. The pictures are there. The video is there. Not So Erudite, same thing. Same fucking that autistic child, that high-functioning autistic child is part of Progressive Victory. Pixie, Progressive Victory. All those by the way, and I love you, Andrew, but Andrew Wilson was on one of her podcasts sitting across the table from Jasmine Jafar, Farah, who has admitted to actually was conflicted about this. At least she has some integrity. I will give Jasmine, Farah. I'll give Farah a break on this because she had some integrity to like sort of pull back on this. And then Pixie. So you had Jasmine, Farah, and Pixie sitting across the table trying to have some sort of genuine debate with Andrew Wilson. And Andrew, I love you, but they're milking you. You know who gets paid after that? Not you. They do, by Progressive Victory. They just want you on a big name. They just want to get on a big name podcast with a big name content creator. And even if they lose, they win because they get paid to go and do this. That's why. All their influence, all that bullshit, anything they can agitate, it doesn't matter it doesn't even matter what the fucking topic is. They win, you lose. And how do we lose? By what happened yesterday. That's why.
Again! What is good, chat? How are we doing today? Welcome to another show. Yo, chat, oh my goodness, it's been a minute since we've done one of these lives, but we are back. And honestly, this was well expected. This show is well expected. I'm not surprised actually hearing this news because this seems like something Rollo would do. Oh Oh, absolutely, yes. This seems like the exact kind of shit, especially what Rollo's being accused of right now. This is exactly what he would do. Someone like this who pretends to be some kind of spook, okay, but then turns out right to try to flick the fingers all over the place, but then gets exposed as one of the biggest, not only pretenders but racist out there on Twitter, right? And we again, who is surprised by this? But we got to talk about how all of this basically came to be, okay? Because Twitter basically, or was it Twitter or Instagram? It was one of those two, right? It was Twitter basically expose this guy, okay? Because Rollo, he does the stuff where he whines on Twitter. I mean, he's a grandma. That's what he does. All he does is whine and cry about, either politics or hypergamy or women or OnlyFans or something like that. Rollo, he's always whining, okay? He's whining about something if you find him on Twitter, right? So there was a post he puts up there, and essentially it went crazy because he was going back and forth with a few people, but then he kind of forgot when he was responding to to one of the individuals. He forgot to use his actual Rollo account, right? He instead he used this alt account, and people were like, at first they were confused. They're like, "Who is this account?" Like responding to as if they were Rollo, right? Kind of like when we were talking about Turtle Boy, right? And then when we went on his YouTube channel to try to see what he was talking about on there about trying to clap back at receipts, and then in one of the comment section, y'all realized that when somebody was calling him out, talking about like the style of the video or whatever it is, he then comments under one of his troll accounts responding to the criticism, right? Because again, one thing these guys are, and they have in spades, is highly emotionality. Okay, these guys are very emotional, and even though they're in the business of doing the little clandestine things on the social media, right? Because they care that much. Yeah, that's right. A bunch of these guys, they will create alt accounts. Andrew Tate himself has like over 20 known social media accounts alone. Okay, and just out there spreading propaganda. And each of those accounts have different followers. So again, these guys are used to figuring out how to manipulate and control the matrix by building up this up account. But it was the exact kind of scenario with Turtle Boy, right? They're so emotional when they clap back at you, and sometimes in the middle of them trolling, then they they forget and they respond in their alt account, and that's essentially what happened. Because people looked at this account and they're like, okay, well this is strange because this account over here that seems irrelevant is somehow acting like it's Rollo Tomassi. So then people investigated the account, and they were looking at prior postings and prior things that account we're doing or into. And it turns out it was a bunch of racist shit, right? A bunch of racist comments, a bunch of racist posts and responses, even just going into other profiles and posts and comments, like just the most hardcore racist shit. And it's like you want to talk about Rollo Tomassi's alter ego, but letting the racism, just unbridled racism out. That's that account right there. All right. So he was getting roasted. He tried to deny it too, right? He was like, oh, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And no one else talked about it. The red pill, they're trying to keep it on the hush hush, right? Shh, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it, right? So no one's talking about this massive situation that is afoot right now with Rollo Tomassi and his clear, blatant racism, right? And again, who is surprised by this revelation? No one really is. When you look at the manosphere as a whole, when you look at the rhetoric they talk about, they never really. I mean, when I told y'all that like Twitter has a bunch of racist shit on there, I'm not joking, right? When sometimes we talk about these pill poppers and I tell you there's some undercover racist element to these guys, and especially how they, their outlook on the world, we're not joking. We're not only trying to combat these ideas, bro. Like these guys are mad toxic, bro, right? And you can see that in the leaders that are leading them, right? So I've been telling you all for a minute, like Elon Musk, he wants to cancel people, right? You want to cancel all these other people, but you can't deal with the racists on your platform, right? You want to stand for free speech. Let's allow the racism okay, because we're for free speech, but then other forms of free speech, no, we're gonna cancel you for 2 weeks. It's like, bro, what? I mean, are you absolutely for real right now, dude? Like, you don't see that we understand what's going on, and these are the same people. They're saying, no, listen, no, black folks. Black folks, we are for you. We are for you. There's not, we're for you. We have your, those Democrats are lying, even though they are. I mean, both, that's what I say, both these guys are liars. It is what it is, right? But I'm telling you right now, there's an undercover hidden element of unbridled racism coming from a bunch of these guys. And now you got these pill poppers joining in on in the whole political front. Why are we not surprised that Rollo, the godfather of the red pill, chat, okay, this is the goddaddy, that's him, right, is now has been unmasked as a undercover Klansman, okay? We about to get into it, but there's also another thing you got to understand that was happening around this time too as well, right? Because people were also talking about, the assassination attempt and things like that. And Destiny was also at the forefront of this too as well, right? And really what was going on at that time was, Destiny said some crazy shit, right? And Rollo Tomassi, being Destiny's lifelong adversary, right, saw that and said, you know what, this is an opportunity. Because, chat, if you think that Rollo still doesn't hold a grudge against Destiny, chat, right, if you don't think that Rollo still holds a grudge against Destiny after the crap that he did through the red pill, y'all are high, right? So Rollo Tomassi sees this, and Rollo Tomassi says, "Oh, this is the official downfall of Destiny. Oh, yeah, guys, we called it. This is what's happening. Destiny is finally going down, right?" So he's now pointing out all these other guys who are political commentators on YouTube, or some of them I wouldn't really say they're too invested in political commentators, but he's pointing out and saying, "See, this is what happens when you combat the red pill." Right? There isn't. But listen, you gotta understand, okay? Listen. It's over. It's over for them. They're done. It's over. It's canned. And then what ends up happening is a bunch of people pick up on this, and they started reacting to it, right? They're like, "Yo, Rollo, what are you talking about? It's over for Destiny, and what's all this?" It's like, bro, you are excited about the meltdown. He starts pointing out all these other guys too as well associated with it, and he starts saying, "Well, this is a downfall because we warned you. You guys are solely responsible for what happened with the assassination attempt." Yep, that's right. It was brainwashed by Destiny. Yes, bro. When I heard that, I'm like, "Yo, this guy's crazy." Rollo done lost his mind, bro. Like, wait a minute. You are blaming Destiny and other political commentators like Destiny for some guy going unhinged and trying to kill the former president, bro. Rollo, why are you trying to tie, national events to your little red pill fucking saga? Like, no one gives a fuck. All right, no one's paid attention to the pill poppers pages. No one's paid attention to you. So you sit there saying, "Oh, these guys, they're being funded by all these other people, and they're the same people that motivated this guy to get these guys deleted." Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad, right? So a bunch of people started clapping back, including Destiny, right? And they started reacting to it. So we're gonna get into a lot of it right here. First of all, before we get into the racist shit, we're gonna go into the unhinged rant that Rollo basically brings up as like a way to shift the blame and responsibility off of them and into the Destiny and pretty much the whole crowd, because he sees this as his opportunity to take him out once and for all. Is it gonna happen? No. I mean the guy's getting invited to all these other channels, bro. Listen. People like Destiny for what he does, okay? And as long as he keeps doing what he does, Rollo, it is what it is, bro. First of all, Rollo, I think it's time for you to hang it up. I think it's time for you to hang it up, right? Just toss the beanie away and, go relax and, drive your Camaro around or whatever the fuck you do. I'm pretty sure he drives a Camaro, bro. He is clearly having a midlife crisis. All right. So he probably has a Camaro somewhere, average or, above average middle class household. So again, just hang it up, go be with your wife, retire in peace. You knowing fully well you put 20 years in, and then the outcome of it was just a disastrous regime. So, but he won't. He won't. That's why, it is what it is. But chat, we're gonna go into this unhinged rant and then just, have ourselves a laugh, okay? And then, we're gonna get into him being exposed as a wild racist. Let's get it.
Seriously, if you follow Destiny, now's the time to watch him, because this is his downfall. This is the end of Destiny right here. And I told Mike this. Mike was like, "Oh man, he's going to be on CNN tomorrow." I'm like, yeah, for what? For having the meltdown that he's having right now? You got to remember that Destiny, Jasmine Jafar, Farah, Pixie, Not So Erudite, let's see, Philion, I can't even remember the rest of these guys. These are people who were political operatives. Their influence was bought by a political action committee that goes by the name Progressive Victory. They are the ones who are out. In fact, I would not be surprised if this Thomas Matthew Cook is not also part of Progressive Victory.
Chat, this is unhinged. This is unhinged rhetoric. Like you can't be out here having a platform saying shit like this that doesn't make any sense. You're connecting things that shouldn't be connected. First of all, how do you even know that the content these people you've listed off are doing are the exact same thing? How do you know they're all in the exact same niche, right? They could be talking about vastly different things. You don't know that. You just say, oh, these guys at one point, they have criticized the red pill and my ideas. So yes, they're somehow part of a cabal, a movement to basically destroy all of us from within. That's what these guys are doing. It's like, bro, calm down. Calm down. It's not that important. Okay. Like, this is crazy. Like, you're too old for this shit. So just, you're saying that Destiny and all these guys are getting paid all this money to call, bro. Again, could it just be that, people just start a YouTube channel and sometimes they see what the red pill guys do and then have no choice but to criticize it because some of the shit y'all do is so fucking insane, right? Is that so hard to believe that shit like that happens, right? And Rollo, they won't want to believe it, right? Because if you notice the people he listed off and he's attacking, they're the people that heavily criticized him or his ideas. And let's don't forget the Destiny Sneeko combo about what the high value man concept was, and your goddaddy couldn't even answer the question, right? He's been going around preaching hypergamy and high value concepts, but can't define what a high value man is. Matter of fact, come to find out, a lot of these guys can't even define the things that they're promoting to be experts in. Look at Sus Marquardt. Nigga, what's an NFT? We don't know, but you're the greatest technologist of our era. Like, I mean, come the fuck on. Like, again, or Andrew Wilson, all right? Andrew Wilson, what is an insurrection? Like, again, just these things. They go out, make arguments off this stuff, right? It never actually define themselves because they like to stay aloof. This is how they scam them, right? This is how they scam you people. But just notice, this is how they operate. So these people that Rollo's going after, it's because they criticize his ideas. So it's not because that this downfall of theirs is somehow tied to this Trump assassination or whatever the fuck attempt that went on. No. It's because they criticized him. Yeah, that's how big this guy's ego is. It's just insane and out of this world, bro. JD Foreman, shout out to you for the two, says, if you like Drake, you probably like minors, bro. Facts. Absolutely, bro. Like, Drake, is a high time he got exposed.
I would not be surprised, or has made donations or has some sort of connection. That's why these guys are twisting in the wind right now, trying to figure out what their narrative is going to be. Because now you took a shot at a formerly standing president, and this is the result of that. This is the product of you guys and your rhetoric being bought and paid for by political action committees since 2022, since July of 2022. That's at least by my record. Sam Drismala, who is the administrator, the guy that maybe he's the owner or the creator of Progressive Victory, admittedly started buying left-leaning, progressive-leaning influencers as far back as July of 2022.
Okay, what about, like, if you want to play this game, what are the right men doing? Look at these guys that have been recruited on Twitter. You guys have been pretty much doing the exact same thing, right? Recruiting all the celebrities. Matter of fact, a lot of these right-wingers, if you pay attention to them, they're more excited now that mainstream celebrities are joining up with them. Remember, that used to be a big criticism a long time ago. Those of you guys who could still have long memories. Y'all remember way back when a bunch of celebrities would endorse Democrats like LeBron James, or, you got some of these guys that would go on. The right would always complain about that. They would say, oh, it's a cabal. You see, they're using these celebrities to brainwash these people. You can't trust LeBron James. You can't trust these people, right? And then fast forward 2024, at least 2023, 2024, as like the steam has been picking up on the right now, they have all these mainstream celebrities, and some of them they're even desperate to make celebrities out of, right? Like that one chick, trad chick, that what did she did? She said the N-word casually on stream, and then they promoted her to the top of the like conservative far right party, until they found out she may not be as pure white as they imagine, right? No, think about this. The woman, these guys on the right, the one that they're saying, hey, black folks, come on, we love you. Come here. Come on. Come on. You don't want to be lied to again. We love y'all, right? They kicked out a girl from their movement. Well, first of all, they embraced her for saying the N-word, and then they kicked her out for not being white enough, right? Or at least some of them even speculated she might be Jewish just because of her facial features. That's how fucking racist these guys are, right? They look at her face, they say, oh, well, she's white, but her nose, I don't know, she might be Jewish. I'm like, yo, you see what I'm saying? So again, the right, they're so excited. They love them some celebrities. They love them trying to find them whoever they can even make a celebrity join their cause, okay? Because this is what they want, okay? And it's honestly just sad. So when you're seeing these guys and they're sitting here crying and complaining and say how they're just using me for cloud and using that for, bro, Rollo, you guys know exactly what kind of ideology you're preaching out there. You know exactly what the fuck y'all doing. So again, it's the pot calling the kettle black in this whole scenario.
I'll show you I'll point you guys in the right direction as far as the documentary is concerned. That is now, all of the shit has been coming out in the last like month or so. And nobody's really no one is banging a gong about this except for me. And Destiny is one of the higher ups. He's one of he's like the feather in the cap of fucking progressive victory. So, if you are a Trump supporter and you had this kid, this high-functioning autistic kid on your show...
Hold up. Just the way he said it, you could tell that came from the deep bowels of this nigga's soul, bro. Like, that autistic kid. Like, just the way he said it. Bro, this dude hates Destiny, bro. That hate goes deep. You can feel it. Oh, that autistic boy. An autistic child. How dare he criticize me? This guy, hey, bro, just let it go, man. Listen, the red pill, your ideas weren't sophisticated to begin with. It was too easy to tear down, okay? I mean, if it wasn't Destiny, it could have been somebody else. Just let it go, bro.
Oh, you are complicit in what happened yesterday, to some degree, because you gave the motherfucker a platform without looking into his background, because all you saw was just clout in the eyes, man. Clout. Oh, we're going to get so much more viewers if we have this guy on there. No, you're not. Because now look where we're at. And no one's going to care about this in another month. No one's going to care about this by the end of August. But I'm bringing this up now. When you give these guys that kind of leeway, when you give them you give them a huge audience like that, without looking into their background, without looking at what they were and what they're doing. You say, well, we want to have a lively conversation. We want to have free debate and open debate. They don't want to have open debate. They want to get out there and they want to influence. That's what they wanted to do.
That's what you guys do all the time. Y'all don't have debates. Y'all debates aren't even debates. They're just situations set up to pretty much feed ideologies back and forth and talking points. That's it. You're just regurgitating talking points and saying the same thing. These aren't debates. Y'all are just, first of all, what all you guys are doing on the internet, wouldn't even be what would be classified as like an actual debate, right? Even just the whole structure. I mean, some people have tried and to try with the whole structure and whatnot, but like this isn't a real debate. Okay, a real debate is completely different. Okay, you're actually on stage and it's heavily moderated, and people are ideas are actually hashed out. Like you could actually figure things out in an actual debate. Here online is just people spewing shit, within their talk point or a lot of point of time, and that's it. All right. So the shit that we've seen from your top guys, I'm sorry, Michael Sartain, those aren't really good debates either, bro. I'm just telling you, bro. All these other guys you've been putting forward so far, they're not good. They're just not. This isn't what I would call a debate. And honestly, bro, you care more about going on these platforms for clout than anyone else, Rollo. All right. That's why you keep bragging about your Dr. Phil appearance, because that literally was the highlight of your career. That was it. That was the height of your entire life's work of being the Red Pill Godfather. And then that was it. Right? You were done. You were done after that. And now you spend your lonely years hating on everybody else that gets on bigger shows than you. Right? And honestly, the finito point for him was when not Donovan, when Destiny got a spot with Pierce Morgan. That's what he lost his mind after that.
And quite honestly, they would rather you not exist. I'm not going to say the word, but that's the solution. The solution for them is for you to be erased, whether that's canceling or whatever else. You know what I'm talking about. Whether you're being canceled, whatever it is, cancel culture this, cancel culture that, blah, 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 blah. They would rather see you in jail. They would rather see you erased. They would rather see you gone. And they're more than happy to do that. And they know what their influence is, and they get paid by that reach. Each one of these kids, each one of these Twitch who, if you are follow somebody like who, I can't say Hunter Avalon, and I'm not really sure if he's on that list, but Philion's definitely on that list. Vaush was on that list. Destiny's on that list. Jasmine Jafar was definitely paid by Progressive Victory. Pixie still paid by Progressive Victory. Although,
and by the way, he can't prove any of this. Okay, this is the same Rollo that thought he had evidence on Brittany Venti in her alleged nudes, right? This is the same guy who teased that for a very long time. Okay, this is the same guy who said trust me, bro, I have the tip-top receipts on Destiny's alleged child with Lauren Southern or something, right? Yeah, this was his guy. So we're expected to just all of a sudden turn around and say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, some of these guys, Jasmine Jafar and all these other people, yeah, they're definitely getting paid by some of these progressive, committees or cabals to destroy us. That's why we shouldn't be giving them attention. Stop giving them attention. You should give me attention. I'm Rollo. I'm the god daddy. Why don't nobody pay attention to me no more? He shouldn't be having an interview. I should have that interview. That's essentially what this ends up being, right? It's just, why Dame, not me, right? Like this guy, honestly, the reason why he ended up on the Homeland Security list, right? It's not because they deem Rollo as a threat. Matter of fact, if you go back and look, the description they have for Rollo was that he was, like, essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, the biggest hater in the red pill. The nigga that started this shit is also the biggest hater in the movement. That's the only thing he was highlighted for, bruh. If that don't show you the level of hatred this nigga got for people, oh my God, bro, it cracks me up. That's why I love clowning this guy, because they will sit there and try to say, oh yeah, it's these other channels. They're so unoriginal. They're haters. That's what they do, right? That's all it is. Meanwhile, all of them, they're all reacting to the same videos now. Y'all notice that? Every one of these so-called pill poppers are all reacting to balloon popping videos. Even Fresh and Fit are doing their own discount balloon popping videos. All y'all niggas are not original. You're all the same. Y'all are clones. That's essentially what it is. You flip to another Red Pill channel. Oh, there's another balloon pop reaction video. There's another one. Y'all are cheap. And y'all remember when I was railing against the TikTok video wave, when these Red Pillars, all their channels, they were all reacting to the same TikTok videos of feminine girls saying stupid shit, or women saying shit, or whatever the fuck it is, right? They were doing that. Y'all are all unoriginal, right? But they point the finger at us, say, oh, these guys, they like to clown us. They're so unoriginal. No, y'all are unoriginal. Yeah, that is what it is, right? And you getting exposed for exactly that. So again, they do this stuff. They do the stuff, and it's just sad that people aren't picking up on the hypocrisy.
Maybe the money's drying up right now, but I'll tell you right now, all these kids are going to keep a very low profile, at least for probably till the end of this month. Trust me on that. And you know what? If they even have a job anymore after what happened, because everybody's saying that, Trump's a shoo-in in November, they might as well just have the election right now because he's going to win, especially after this. I'm not saying that's the case. I don't know. But what I do know is that they were paid operatives. That's what they were. And they would say they're counselors or they're consultants or something like that, so they don't violate the terms of service on Twitch. In fact, Twitch didn't, but by the way, I'm not broadcasting on Twitch right now because right before I went on, Twitch said they didn't like the title of this video and I needed to tweak it a little bit. I'm like, fuck that. I don't care. I don't have anybody watch me on Twitch anyways. So I just canceled that stream, which is, I think I might have had 3 viewers on it. But that's where we're at right now. This is welcome to 2024. So if you gave these kids any kind of credence, any kind of clout, any kind of legitimacy, if you legitimized any of these people, you are part of the problem. Maybe unwittingly so, I'll give you that. Maybe you just simply didn't know, but that's how this is going to work. And trust me, in 2028, when we go through all this bullshit one more time, we go through another political cycle, this is what's going to happen.
What he's essentially doing right now is finger wagging at all these other red pill content creators that are giving supposed left or left wingers a platform, right? He's criticizing right wingers or red pill platforms for saying, hey, you guys, you're contributing to our own downfall. Stop giving these guys a platform, okay? Stop promoting these guys. Stop doing interviews. Stop doing that, okay? We gotta cut it off, okay? Because they're ruining us. That's what he's saying. Meanwhile, it's like, bro, like, you were a part of that. Matter of fact, there were even some people that you guys end up propping up within your space that end up being complete bust, okay? And then some of y'all try to distance yourself from them, okay? You guys are guilty of the same thing, all right? So it's just hilarious. I find it funny that he's now coming out trying to lecture all these guys, say, hey, don't, I know you guys want the clout. It's not always about the clout. Please stop platforming these guys. And if we stop showing up on their platforms, all right, if we just stop showing up, we got a boycott, then, that way you guys don't go on famous platforms anymore, and then we don't get hurt. No, bro, the reason why he's saying that is because he's jealous. Again, he was on the Homeland Security list for being the biggest hater of the red pill, right? They actually decided him for being the biggest one criticizing other pill poppers. Like, if anything, Rollo should be on our team. Yo, like, if we didn't know any better, and Homeland Security, they didn't know any better, but they classified Rollo as almost indistinguishable from us, right? Because, like, he criticized some of these pill poppers with the same fervor, and it's not because he actually genuinely wants change or he genuinely wants the betterment of pill popping space. No, it's because he wants all the clout. And I suspect the fact that he's finger wagging at a bunch of all these pill pop, or not pill poppers, but red pill content creators, and saying, stop showing up to their platforms, it's a direct response to seeing a bunch of these right wingers interviewing and, getting a bunch of clout going on these platforms and doing these debates, especially on political season, right? You're seeing Andrew Wilson go through with it, and he even mentions it here. You're seeing Destiny. You're seeing all these YouTubers. Like, the internet space is really now merging with mainstream media, at least on the politics side, right? So you're seeing streamers for the first time going on mainstream, right? You're seeing YouTubers, and Rollo's not part of that wave, right? Some of these guys are pill poppers, or they got their roots from pill poppers, right? But Rollo was never a part of that wave. So you got to understand, when you hear his finger wagging at other red pill content creators to stop going on other platforms to do content for clout, it's because he's no longer invited to those spaces. He's the biggest hater out there, bruh.
And I'm not saying that maybe even conservatives aren't doing the same thing, buying influencers and everything, but now we know. And now, whenever you have somebody on there, especially if you're like pro-Trump and you're, pro-traditional conservative values and everything like that, and you're going to go and put somebody like Destiny on your show, just know that you're giving them a bullhorn on your show. And that bullhorn is used to do what happened yesterday. This is what they wanted to happen. This is the flashpoint incident I've been talking about for a very, very long time. They're looking for something that's going to galvanize. And guess what? It backfired. It literally backfired on them. So bear in mind that the influencers that you think are like, I'll tell you right now, nobody pays me. I don't do this for, trust me, I ain't doing this for the money.
Nigga, we know nobody pay you. That's why you're mad. You're mad, nigga, because nobody paying you. That's the whole point of this, nigga. What are we talking about? I'm not doing this for the money. Hey, time out. Weren't you the same one that severed ties with Adam Sosnick and then encouraged your followers to not follow his platform, all because Adam Sosnick didn't acknowledge $60 of your super chat? And not only that, didn't you get mad about how all the money you had to spend to even travel to Adam Sosnick's show, right? And how you didn't even get properly compensated for that. You weren't even comparing yourself to other podcasters that get flown out and they get the full Anton Daniels MGM first class presidential treatment, right? You were mad that you didn't get that. So don't sit there now try to pretend, oh yeah, guys, it wasn't about the money. It was never about the money. No. I mean, nobody pays me. Yeah, nigga, we know. And we know why. We know why nobody wants to pay you, Rollo. You got to hang it up, bro. It's over.
I mean, it's nice to have outreaches. Please buy my books. That's about it. I don't have a program. I don't have a dating site. I'm not trying to use a 12-point, compatibility score so you.
Says the guy that wrote Art of, what do you call it? He wrote his own version of Art of Seduction. This guy, like, he's wrote like 5 different books. He practically links them on every video to go buy it, right? And he's telling you, no, I'm not doing this for money. What? No, I'm not promoting my books. I'm not promoting courses. I don't sell 6-point programs and whatnot. You buy my Art of Seduction book too, by the way. It's like these geezers don't realize the internet has a paper trail, bro. We could go back and review your bullshit, dog. Like you can't lie like this.
Because you can meet your soulmate. I've never done anything like that. I'm just an author, and I will continue to be an author into perpetuity till I am carried out in a pine wood box, right? But I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking money from anybody. They wouldn't pay me anyways. So conservatives hate me and progressives hate me, so I guess I'm screwed. But
gee, how did you manage that, Rollo? Both sides of the party hating you.
You have me on your show, you're gonna get the real fucking deal. You have these guys on your show, you're going to get propaganda, agitating propaganda. That's what you're going to end up getting. And whether they lose or win the quote unquote debate, it doesn't matter. They're still getting paid by the show from Progressive Victory. They're drawing a check. Like, you ever wonder, like, where do these people make their money? I mean, I know, like, Jasmine Jafar makes money off of, titty fucks on fucking OnlyFans. She's not really a fucking lawyer. I think it was James Sexton says, like, she's never seen the inside of a courthouse. She makes more money off of OnlyFans.
James Sexton, is that the same James Sexton you hired for Fresh's legal case? Who isn't? Oh, surprise, surprise, Fresh's lawyer, and they actually don't have anything set up right now. Is that James Sexton, that guy, right? That's the guy that says that this OnlyFans girl wasn't a lawyer too. You guys are all clowns. You guys are, like, honestly, bro, like, it's like a weird freaking Disney episode. That's the way I see it with all of you guys. Here you are getting mad that an OnlyFans model is a better political commentator than the guy that started the red pill. Honestly, that's pretty goddamn sad. Honestly, chat, I can understand why Rollo's pissed off. Think about it. You spend your entire career building up a group of people to basically despise OnlyFans girls, only to have an OnlyFans girl beat you at being a better political commentator. That means you all retards. That's just exactly what that means. You're all stupid. This red pill shit, it's dumb. Get out of it, bro. Y'all need to go touch grass, because if OnlyFans models got more brains than most of y'all out there, who's really losing? Let's just be honest.
Anything, but she's also still taking money from Progressive Victory because she's at all of those events. There's no getting around it. The pictures are there. The video is there. Not so erudite, same thing. Same fucking that autistic child, that high functioning autistic child is part of Progress Victory. Progressive.
He's why? Oh my god! Why is he so mad? Like, oh, that high functioning autistic child. You could tell from deep down from the bottom of his beanie, bro. He feels that shit. All right, when he's talking about that Destiny, you autistic boy. It's like, dude, what the fuck is your Did you take your meds, Grandpa? Are you all right? You all right, Grandpa? What's up?
Victory. Pixie, Progressive Victory. All those shit. By the way, and I love you, Andrew, but Andrew Wilson was on one of our podcasts sitting across the table from Jasmine Jafar Farah, who has admitted to actually was conflicted about this. At least she has some integrity. I will give Jasmine, Farah. I'll give Farah a break on this because she had some integrity to like sort of pull back on this. And then Pixie. So you had Jasmine, Farah, and Pixie sitting across the table, trying to have some sort of genuine debate with Andrew Wilson. And Andrew, I love you, but they're milking you.
What? No, it's the Whatever podcast milking everybody. Okay. First of all, what business does the Whatever podcast, who were initially a prank channel that somehow cop Fresh and Fit flow and became a dating channel podcast, what do they have in terms of any business talking about politics or anything else, right? None. Absolutely nothing, right? So Whatever podcast is absolutely milking it. They took Fresh and Fit strategy, what Fresh and Fit should have been doing, and this is why they're still successful. All right, so they have clear OnlyFans models, and now they're talking about these events, right? And then you have these debates with Andrew Wilson and whatnot. You got to ask the same question: what business does Andrew Wilson have debating OnlyFans models, right? Why is he not in more sophisticated debates? Is that the best that we can do? So to me, Rollo, it seems like this whole paradigm with Whatever podcast setting up a debate with Andrew Wilson versus OnlyFans girls. Okay, I think it's like it's done intentionally. Okay, it's done intentionally for views. Meaning Andrew Wilson wanted to go on Whatever podcast because he wanted the views, and the OnlyFans girls who somehow are beating you in political commentating, okay, are on there because those views lead to OnlyFans subscriptions. Don't act like this is so surprising. Don't act like y'all are not in on it. Don't act like y'all are not the biggest pipelines to these OnlyFans girl subscriptions going up. Don't act like y'all are above the fray. You see, we got to remind y'all exactly where you play in the role you guys are playing in the incel economy. Y'all play a vital role here, bro. You guys are solely responsible for facilitating mass subscriptions from lonely boys online to webcam e-girl platforms, whether it's your goddaddy Andrew Tate or guys like Fresh and Fit or guys like you and Mark Sartain and Saint the Sinner, all of y'all cabal, y'all are out here the single-handed most, cornerstone individuals that are responsible for the mass OnlyFans subscriptions we're seeing today. I'm flat out just saying that. Okay, so you sitting there going at all these other groups saying, "Oh, Andrew Wilson, I love you," which he doesn't. He that's hating. He hating right now. That's Rollo hating. I love you, but can't you see these women are using you? No, it's not the women. Andrew Wilson wants the clout. The women want the clout. It seems like the only person not getting any clout is you. Seems like you want the clout, but you can't get it. And now you're here hating. That's what this is, bro. Has Rollo ever been invited to Whatever podcast, chat? Wait, let me ask this question because I actually don't know. Has Rollo Tomassi ever been invited to Whatever? Put a 1 if yes, put a 2 if no. I actually don't know. I only follow up on Rollo when he does stupid shit like this. But like, has he actually? Because if he hasn't been on the Whatever podcast, you're not important, bro. Stop it. It doesn't matter. And honestly, here's another thing, Rollo. Now that you made all this mess about, don't go on their show. It's all about clout. They're using you. If you ever go on that show, just know this makes you a massive hypocrite. I hope you understand this, right? This is crazy, bro.
You know who gets paid after that? Not you. They do, by Progressive Victory. They just want you on a big name. They just want to get on a big name podcast with a big name content creator. And even if they lose, they win because they get paid to go and do this. That's why. All their influence, all that bullshit, anything they can agitate, it doesn't matter it doesn't even matter what the fucking topic is. They win. You lose. And how do we lose? By what happened yesterday.
Yeah, that's definitely not fear-mongering and, promoting shit that can radicalize people. No, as you guys are blaming the other side for radicalizing potential mass shooters, here you are basically radicalizing your base. It's like, dude, you guys are two sides of the exact same coin. Okay, so this video actually went crazy. A lot of people reacted to it because they were calling this unhinged. Destiny reacted to it, although Destiny's reaction was kind of interesting to it. But one of the people he was criticizing, not so erudite, also reacted to it. And then she also reacted to it and exposed Mr. Red Pill Godfather over here, his racist alt account. Okay, so it actually starts to make sense here once you start seeing all this stuff get put together, right? This guy, how he hates women, he's super crazy with these talking points, right? And then all of a sudden you see his points about anything else but white, right? And then all of a sudden we're all surprised that he has an alt account, letting his unbridled racism out. No, we can't be surprised about that. Let's go ahead and play this video here.
Destiny, Jasmine Jafar, Farah, Pixie, Not So Erudite, their influence was bought by a political action committee that goes by the name Progressive Victory.
Here's his alt account just saying the N-word.
You are complicit in what happened yesterday, to some degree.
He just keeps outing him. Why are you dodging? Why are you dodging? Rollo, friend of the stream, Rollo Tomassi, better known as the Rational Male. He wrote a number of books. We get along.
I don't know, bro. The more I see about Rollo, the more I'm starting to think he's definitely unhinged. No, there's no rationality there. He's the irrational male, bro. He's completely irrational and unhinged.
So well. The best of friends, truly. The greatest of friends. Very recently, he was embroidered in a...
Shout out to Ice Cream Vlogs. Ice Cream Vlogs says, what kind of name is Rollo? His name is George. His real name is George. George something. I forgot what it was. George Gilbert or something like that. It's something weird. It's something. I know it's George for sure. It's something George Martin. Hey, somebody. Hey, what these black pill is that? Y'all know more about Rollo than anything else. His name is George Milton. It's something. I don't remember. But yeah, listen, with a name like that, bro, I'd probably go with Rollo. But hey, shout out to Ice Cream Vlogs, bro.
Large Twitter feud with Gislick. It was a great feud. It was a wonderful, wonderful feud. Okay. Hold on. I'm just gonna pull it up for you. It's wild. All I can think is aging as a social media influencer and like not letting go of like your best times. Not good.
If you follow Destiny, now's the time to watch him because this is his downfall. This is the end of Destiny right here. And I told Mike this. Mike was like, "Oh man, he's going to be on CNN tomorrow." I'm like, "Yeah, for what? For having the meltdown that he's having right now?" You got to remember that Destiny, Jasmine Jafar, Farah, Pixie, Not So Erudite. Let's see, Philion. I can't remember the rest of these guys.
Who's Philion?
These are people who were political operatives. Their influence was bought by a political action committee that goes by the name Progressive Victory. They are the ones who are out. In fact, I would not be surprised if this Thomas Matthew Cook is not also part of Progressive Victory.
Like Rollo, you gotta lay off the roids, bro. that shit's getting to your fucking head. Like, what do you? I mean, even just look at him. Look at this guy. He looks crazy. Look at him. You gotta lay off the TRT, dog. Okay, you're too old for this shit. All right, let your testosterone work itself out. But like, you're coming out here sounding nuts with these talking points, bro. Right? First is the vasectomies. Now we got this.
Just so it's super clear, I work as an event coordinator for Progressive Victory. I don't do content for Progressive Victory at all, but like all the canvassing events that they hosted, I coordinated all of that. I get paid a monthly salary because I work for them, but I've always been open about that. In fact, a lot of my stream doesn't like fully jive with necessarily like what PV you want to put out there. I very much so am not bought for my opinion. I am paid for my services. I cannot believe that he just said that Thomas Crooks might have been part of Progressive Victory. All I can imagine is that this guy has literally never been close to anything political before. And this is like the first like political org he's ever heard of or known of. And a whole bunch of people that he hates is part of it. So he's just assumed that we're super, just so it's clear, Progressive Victory. God bless him. You know, I love him, work for him. They are a very, very small company in like the political game. Just to be very clear, okay? Wild.
Is Thomas Matthew Cook is not also part of Progressive Victory. I would not be surprised, or has made donations or has some sort of connection. That's why these guys are twisting in the wind right now, trying to figure out what their narrative is going to be. Because now you took a shot at a formerly standing president, and this is the result of that.
Wait, so he thinks that PV paid the guy who attempted the assassination, and that when Trump gets elected, he's going to come after specifically Destiny and PV because he thinks that we paid them off.
He's so stupid. Like, honestly, for a guy to pretend to be so smart, he's so fucking stupid. And honestly, this kind of rhetoric is low-key dangerous. I'm not even saying low-key. That's actually dangerous, bro. Because, like, you can actually radicalize people to actually believe like certain people who actually work at these organizations are involved in things that they probably are not, right? And then people could go in and just start deleting people, like that Pizzagate nonsense that went crazy, right? Because there were rhetoric that were being tossed out there that got people crazy enough to go up and shoot up something, right? So y'all got to be careful because Rollo, you can't just be saying this. You can't be saying stuff like this. And you come on, you hold your platform a great deal of responsibility before you start putting shit like this out there.
Yeah.
Is
this what happens when you age? Is this aging? I don't know. Is this what happens when you're like, you know what? My time is done. I've not been thinking well for the last 20 years. I'm going to, let it be.
The product of you guys and your rhetoric being bought and paid for by political action committees since 2022, since July of 2022. That's at least by my record. Sam Drzmala, who is the administrator, the guy that maybe he's the owner or the creator of Progressive Victory.
He's the founder. He's one of the co-founders.
Admittedly started buying left-leaning, progressive-leaning influencers as far back as July of 2022. I'll show you I'll point you guys in the right direction.
It's actually so frustrating when people talk about PV in this way because there are absolutely political orgs that will basically pay people for their opinion. But those political orgs typically target TikTokers. TikTok doesn't have like a culture of like authenticity essentially. And so a lot of TikTokers really genuinely can be essentially paid to spout any message that you want. Not all of them, to be clear. It really varies by the TikToker. But by and large, if you're looking for somebody who's basically saying, I want to pay you to just say whatever we want, they're not coming to streamers because we explicitly don't do that at all. In fact, like so much of our current policy is aimed at protecting streamers that like work with us to basically be like, only do content that naturally comes to you that you already want to do. We're just paying you for the rights to be able to put it on our own channel and promote it to like media and stuff like that.
What I find so hypocritical about guys like Rollo and these guys complaining about stuff like this, because this is exactly what Kick, Rumble, and these guys are doing, right? When they're saying, hey, don't go to those platforms anymore because they don't represent free speech, come to our platform, even though these guys also don't represent free speech, right? Because they look what they're doing to Destiny, right? They're trying to ban them and kick them and all that stuff, right? So again, they're doing the same thing. They're essentially these massive media platforms are recruiting paying influencers to basically say and promote whatever it is that they want, right? So again, this is what companies do. Just these influencers are just pawns. That's just what it is, right? They're political pawns and tools to get the company more money. It's not even so much so these guys are going to affect anything with policy, or maybe their fan base is big enough and loyal enough, maybe they can do stuff. But you got to be at the DJ Academics or Joe Rogan level type of situation where you can start affecting like real world shit as an internet guy, right? But like at the end of the day, all of it's insignificant. Right. So again, it's weird how like these guys, they're sitting there saying, oh, well, look at these platforms, these media platforms. They're buying up all these influencers. They're picking them up. Yeah. So it's Rumble. It's weird how all y'all right wingers and all y'all conspiracy nuts end up on all these other platforms who are willing to accept traffickers and rapists and just all the dregs of society who are spewing all their fucking insane lunatic BS. All right, just look at Twitter, right? And then you're gonna go over here and say, oh my God, these organizations, they're just hiring these TikTokers. It's crazy. They're both out to fool you, bro. They're both part of the same thing. Don't listen to it.
That's essentially what's going on. So it's like actually wild. This is like, he just doesn't know though. He doesn't know. And I'm not going to name them because he's going to watch this later and be like, wait, that group? But it's really hard to do with streamers because streamers are on lives for like 4 to 5 hours at a time. It's really hard to buy out somebody's opinion for 4 to 5 hours straight. They're usually going to drop message. And by and large, the streaming community really, really hates that shit. So most streamers that get popular, just like it's against their own values, can hold with such a wide coalition. Is there any problem with infighting at PV? No, not that I'm aware of. This isn't like a PV PR moment, guys.
As far as the documentary is concerned, that is now all of the shit has been coming out in the last like month or so, and no one is banging a gong about this except for me. And Destiny is one of the higher ups. He's one of the he's like the feather in the cap of progressive victory.
He doesn't even, I don't think we've ever paid him anything. In fact, he's just helped us fundraise for a canvassing event.
So if you are a Trump supporter and you had this kid, this high functioning autistic kid on your show, you are complicit in what happened yesterday.
Yo, every time he says it, this high functioning autistic kid, bro, that hate he has is real. And since when is like autism a vector for us to just start like using that as some kind of insult? Like damn near like everybody's starting to pop out with that stuff. So you just say, oh, he's autistic. Rollo, I'm thinking you might be autistic. Like, this isn't normal behavior. So, I mean, what are we doing here, bro? Like, again, I don't think that's an insult, like, to be just throwing around. I mean, it's just crazy because you, nigga, we've had those same thoughts about you, and some of y'all pill poppers that might actually be on the spectrum, bro. So, why are you sitting there just trying to, like, clown, Destiny like that? That's crazy.
To some degree, because you gave the motherfucker a platform.
Oh my God.
So mad.
Oh God, when conservatives become anti-platformers. Deplatform. I hate this rhetoric. The only reason it happened is because Biden was calling him a Nazi. It's like, you want to know why all of this shit has happened? Because social media got imbibed with political advocacy, and it has led to a greater division than we've ever seen in North America and kind of globally, literally ever. And the problem is that algorithms reinforce bad faith and basically like extremist statements. That's what trends really well, because if it bleeds, it leads. The reality is that everyone wants to stare at a train wreck, right? Everyone wants to see like the kids fighting out back. They just like don't want to be the ones fighting. That's the problem. There's no like
that's
secret.
That's why like some of these guys, and I call them hypocrites, right? They'll come in here and like, oh, Duke, is that all you do is talk about drama? Like what? Like, how dare you? This is so beneath me. Yet they're watching. they come to the show, they watch, but then deep down they feel guilty. So then they try to like project on you, like, oh, all you do is just talk about these guys, but yet you're here, right? It's the exact same thing, bro. These guys, okay, people love drama. That's just the one. If you haven't figured that out by now, you're either lying or you literally live underneath a rock. Okay, social media, we talk about people because people is drama. Drama gets eyeballs. Everyone does it. Everyone. So you're literally a hypocrite when you're going over there saying, oh, that person is just doing this for clout or doing that for this and talking about drama when they could be doing something else. No, it's because you guys are doing the exact same thing. All right, because that's how the internet works. That's how media has always worked. Okay, like the headlines, the big headlines is what got people buying papers. Okay, the same thing with with titles on a video, bro. That's gonna get the eyeballs. The thumbnails, it's gonna get the eyeballs. The more dramatic, the better. Anybody who's still going around in 2024 pretending that drama is not the main avenue for people to get content on their eyeballs on their content, they're simply either being hypocritical or they live under a rock. Okay, so I'm not surprised. I'm genuinely not surprised about this.
Person behind all of this being like, woo, 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 woo. It's not the Democrats, it's not the Republicans, it's that everyone is doing this, and people are not policing their own. Now, to be clear, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Liberals police their own way better right now than conservatives are. I do not see enough conservatives calling out the absolute bullshit that is coming out of the RNC. Whereas I do see liberals constantly course correcting themselves, constantly telling themselves that they're being incorrect, constantly kicking out people like Hassan and saying like, not part of us, not interested.
I would give the far left credit for that, right? A lot of them did denounce Hassan, like a lot of them, especially after the whole Palestine-Israel thing, and they start to realize, yeah, this guy might just be grifting. He might actually not be a real lefty, right? People kind of figured it out, okay? Because it was just like, oh, okay, right? So that I have to give him credit for. I never thought people would realize that Hassan Piker was literally a fraud, right? I never thought people would finally come to that realization, but the left actually does. But somehow on the right, they still prop up Nick Fuentes. Like, how are y'all still with Nick Fuentes? Like, he's allowed to lead rallies. People want to take pictures with him. Some of these guys are prominent right-wing influencers online or streamers, right? I'm shocked. Like, I'm really shocked. And then y'all turn around and say, oh, I can't believe these far lefties are calling us Nazis. How dare they? Meanwhile, they're hugging up on a guy, and there's pictures on Twitter with hugging up on a guy that basically glorifies Hitler and Stalin, right? And all of their regimes and shit. Like, y'all need to oust that guy, like ASAP, bro.
They'll give conservatives points. They absolutely kicked out the Nazis. They said, fuck those people. But the reality is that, like, this whole Trump-like thing is just unprecedented. And it is reinforced by social media. It's why you see the Dems increasingly being inflammatory. It's why you saw, like, the absolute Trump derangement syndrome that occurred in 2016, because all of culture had been moving left, and then all of a sudden the most salacious claims about Trump is what got everyone most interested. Again, it's not like this like insidious, nasty thing. It's these like echo chambers pulling further and further away from each other's realities. And the problem is that the most outlandish thing in the echo chamber gets the most eyes, and then people in that echo chamber think that that's what's normal when it's not. And they're just never talking to the other side, which is why it's so annoying to listen to, like, God.
See, I disagree with her. Well, to a certain extent, I think it's a little bit of both, right? Because you do have people that influence a lot of these influencers. There are certain organizations that will pay in and, you know, fund and do certain things. So I'm not saying it happens at a widespread thing, but yeah, there's a little bit of that element to it. It has to be. There's no way to just say, oh no, it's all just complete echo chambers that are going out of control and people listen to the biggest echo chambers. It's not that at all. Even on the right wing side, you can see that there's certain forces and elements that are nudging things certain ways and moving things certain ways. That's why certain things or certain people aren't being held accountable for certain things that should have been clear, right? That's why someone like Candace Owens can interview a known trafficker that goes against all right-wing ideology, traditionally speaking, like conservative speaking, right? Because he trafficked people, he's raped women, right? So listen, you could have Candace Owens get on an interview with them and say, "Oh, the media is lying. I don't see anything. I don't see anything wrong. I mean, you did that years ago. This is crazy. You see what I'm saying? Right? These guys, Tucker Carlson's in on it. They're all fucking in on it, bro. So you see this shit, and you're just like, oh my god. Like, clearly, yeah, there's something going on here where either, I don't know if Tate is paying y'all with a good time, how y'all gonna, like, why aren't you guys obviously calling out a clear situation for what it is, right? That's the shit that just, like, it boggles the mind of a lot of people. Even Elon Musk, the owner of Twitter, is just like, yeah, this is fine with me. There's a lot of things, right? So she's got a point, right? There are certain things where, you know, there's a hidden hand, but a lot of it is idiot, just, echo chambers going crazy, but it happens on both sides. I mean, it's nuts.
Listening to Republicans describe a liberal perspective can be the most painful thing in the world. They're like, oh yeah, classic liberals. They're just like, I'm better than everyone else and I want your kids to be trans. And it's like, that's not the typical liberal position at all. That's just not how this works. There are members of Congress that didn't endorse Trump, at least. I know. But the problem is that they get no love, they get no praise, and their seats are at like massive threat.
Looking into his background, because all you saw was just,
you're doing the same thing to them. Just so it's clear, I'm not being a middle of the fencer here. The RNC is being worse. I just will also acknowledge where the Democrats have gone wrong. Don't hear me doing an olive branch as agreeing that things are equal. Things are not equal. The RNC, the fact that Trump is a leader and the behaviors that you guys allow, like Marjorie Greene Taylor, Lauren Boebert, to get away with is wild, particularly according to your own espoused.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene is crazy, bro. Like, she belongs in a fucking asylum. Like, the fact that she's out here doing and saying what she's saying, bro. Like, I don't know what's happening, dog.
Values. You are betraying your own espoused values as a conservative like 90% of the time. Whereas the Democrats' biggest issue, I will fully admit, is falling into like basically woke culture mob and canceling everyone really, really bad.
That's honest, because the left-wing cancelship was dominant for the past 7-8 years. It was very, very dominant. So she's honest about that.
And allowing like PC correctness and stuff to like take over, also really, really bad, and being really disconnected from like common people. Do you think independent and centrist, blah, 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 blah? That's totally true. I was just pointing out to a tiny light of optimism in the light of Trump from the right. I mean, my optimism from Trump from the right is that I don't believe that he'll like be successful in getting 2/3 of the House or Senate. So I don't actually see him becoming a dictator in the next 4 years. What I am concerned about is him, more so SCOTUS, continuing to roll back balances of power in a way that like undermines democratic power. And we have a dictator in like 10 years. That's what I'm worried about.
clout in the eye.
I think both sides do that shit, bro. Like, that is that what what Biden did, a little bit of that when he got in office. Trump did that. They just repealed the past president's policies, or they get rid of it or abolish it or something like that. And it's weird how they do it, but again, y'all are all guilty of this shit. The main thing is the shit that y'all do, most of it doesn't benefit average people. Like, the middle class is still getting squeezed. Within the next 10 years that we're talking about here, like, there might not be a middle class out there, bro. Like, you don't understand how bad things are getting. People are increasingly getting squeezed on every level. Student loans, credit cards, mortgages, apartments, right? So some people, like, the apartments are costing more than mortgages out there, some of these people, right? So again, you're not going to have a middle class. Like, we got serious problem that neither side wants to even tackle, but instead we got phonetics for fan bases that are, oh, you got to vote for this guy because, you know, he'll help you, or vote for that person, they'll help you. It's like, your life hasn't changed since fucking Reagan, bro. How can these guys help me at all, right? It's still fucking trickle down economics. Yeah, let's just give all our money to all these other guys that all of their fucking after piss can rain down all of our bodies, and the middle class can get it. And look what's been happening for the past decades. We've been getting squeezed. There's nothing left. So miss me with this bullshit. Both sides are animals that frankly, I think they need to be put down. I think we need a new situation with new ideas to come out of this mess with this whole fucking post-Reagan ideologies and implementation nonsense we've been doing for decades, bro. I'm sick and tired of it.
Man, clout. Oh, we're going to get so much more viewers if we have this guy on there. No, you're not, because now look where we're at, and people are. No one's going to.
Isn't being spineless worse than being inconsistent? Being a coward is not. So like if the liberal side, if we're saying is like cowardly, they like cowed to the PC mob. I don't think that's worse than being a hypocrite. You're kind of just like picking your vice now, like which one's more bearable. And the problem is that they're hypocrites and they're violent about it. That's what's an issue.
To care about this in another month. No one's going to care about this by the end of August. But I'm bringing this up now. When you give these guys that kind of.
But to be clear, there's a reason why most Republicans like Trump over the Democrats, because the Democrats have always kind of had like the we're better than you perspective, right? Yeah. Which is not good. It's a very big distaste for the average working man. It's very annoying.
Anyway, when you give them that, I mean, you give them a huge.
Inconsistencies can be fixed. Hypocrisy is very hard to fix, and also so can cowardice. What do you mean? And increasingly, there's a large liberal movement that's starting up amongst like 30-year-old liberals that are very, very, very anti-cowardice within the Liberal Party. Like that is just occurring. So like both of these things can be course corrected.
Huge audience like that.
The problem is that only one party seems to be okay with betraying what the Constitution and what democracy is. And that's the RNC. They're okay with the fact that
I don't think so. I don't think so at all, bro. Shout out to From Downtown with the 5 cents. Drama is number 2 on the bestseller list, right under sex. Facts. No, you're for real. Like, first thing is selling the sex. Everybody use sex to sell all the stuff, right? And then the next thing is drama. It's right down the street. They're practically neighbors. Like, anybody who's denying that right now, you're high, bro. It is what it is. But shout out to you.
Trump actively, willfully, and knowingly wanted to try to betray the Constitution. He wanted to do whatever it took to get him to win. And that's bad. That's anti-constitutional. And that's the concern. That's why, like, the reality is, like, we got to hold everyone to the same standard. And the Democrats have not been trying to actively undo the democratic system for, like, to establish basically an authoritarian regime. They're just not doing that. Democrats are being like, we're better than you and we know better because we're educated. The problem is they're probably right about like 60% of the time. But when they're wrong, they're really wrong and they'll never admit that they're wrong.
That, without looking into their background and not without looking at what they were and what they're doing, you say, well, we want to have a lively conversation. We want to have free debate and open debate. They don't want to have.
Conservatives never liked the Constitution. Let's be real here. They said they did in the last 60 years.
Have open debate. They want to get out there.
Neither side respects the Constitution. What are we talking about, bro? Like, I can't, like, this is what I hate. This is why I can't stand about, like, federal political season, right? We got the elections going on, because then you see these bullshit that just, it's like one side tries to pretend they're not, they're above the fray, and the other side try to pretend they don't do that. No, a lot of times, like, bro, there are certain things that were put out there that, you know, a lot of people can say, hey, it looks like y'all are trying to, you know, go past the Constitution, right? Even some Republicans can say, hey, what you got, the whole stuff y'all did with the hearings and whatnot with Trump and the ballot things and whatnot y'all did, that could have been considered y'all going above the law, right? So there's so many things that, like, it's just so y'all are guilty of. That's what I'm thinking. Like, people should just, like, wake up from this bullshit, right? Steve says, Duke is such a terminal centrist. He blames both sides, which doesn't change anything. What do you mean doesn't change anything? Y'all have been voting for one side or the other for years now. Nothing has changed. If anything, no, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Things have changed. It's gotten worse. So me blaming both sides for a problem, how is that a problem? How is that disempowering so many people to vote? Like, the what? And so if you're disempowered to vote based off of what I'm saying, then I don't know what else to tell you, bro. that's not my deal. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for or not vote for. I'm here to tell you what I think about my thoughts, right? How you getting mad at me for my thoughts? I never promoted anything. I'm just telling you what I think, okay? I see problems with the left. I blame the left. I see problems with the right. I blame the right. And then you expecting me to pick a side and like I don't know if they both fake. How can I willingly do that? Like y'all hot? Like what the fuck? I must speak my opinion. Y'all can't be influenced with what y'all want to do. Like I know what I'm voting for and I know what I do, right? But I'm not. It's definitely not any one of these sides, right? It's not going to be any one of them. So you're free to do and vote what you want, but I'm free to have my opinions, bro. If I think that both sides are garbage, that's my fucking opinion. And I would never vote for either side. I think they're scam artists. Okay, the Democrats fucked black people. The Republicans have fucked black people. The fuck do I give a fuck about both of them? And who the fuck are you telling me who the fuck to think about, right? This is what I gotta understand. Y'all gotta wake up. See, some of y'all are used to getting burned, mistreated, abused, misused, and still go back like Stockholm syndrome to the people who are abusing you. For me, I get burned once or twice because I actually fall for the rhetoric. I actually fall for what they say, and they burn me. Then I say, I'm done. I become one of these guys that walk away. I don't, it is what it is. You're trash. I'm not going to be willingly binded to one side. This is the echo chamber she's talking about. Wake up.
There, and they want to influence. That's what they wanted to do. And quite honestly,
it's been the game for years. The Dems just took the opportunity to weaponize it. They've both taken the opportunity to weaponize it. Don't at me. Reagan did tons of fucked up shit.
Honestly, they would rather you not exist. I'm not going to say the word, but that's the solution. The solution for them is for you to be erased, whether that's canceling or whatever else. You know what I'm talking about. Whether you're being canceled, whatever it is, cancel culture this, cancel culture that, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, so anyways, is the rationale now okay? He believes that Destiny inspired the shooter and that the shooter was a member of Progressive Victory. This may be the most unhinged. So anyways, Rollo accidentally showed his alt account.
Here we go.
So
Come
Rollo
on.
replied,
Let's go.
GFY,
Come on.
you ran, you pussy.
Come on,
so this
Rollo.
guy just keeps asking, the ZZ guy, hold on, sorry, it's scrolling so fast. This guy just keeps asking, why are you dodging Jislik? Why are you dodging Jislik? Because basically he refused to come and talk to Jislik and give Jislik the juicy content that he wanted. Okay, why are you dodging? He just keeps...
Rollo's always been a runner. That's what y'all gotta understand. Rollo has always been a runner, track star, bro. He runs from debate. He still to this day won't debate Alex from Playing with Fire. He won't debate him at all. Right? Oh, you gotta come to Vegas. Come to Vegas and I'll debate you, okay? But I'm not doing it because he knows he will get his ass whooped. He couldn't even answer Sneeko, who's also on Pill Popper, right? He asked you a question on what a high value man is. He ran from that. And next time he came back, he brought Mike Sartain with him. like that was gonna do anything, bro. Again, I'm just telling you, he's not gonna debate nobody. Okay, Rollo doesn't leave his comfort zone for nothing.
Touting him. Why are you dodging? Why are you dodging? Why are you dodging? Okay. So we've established that this guy bothers him a lot. So finally, no one enforces gender roles. Humans innately adopt them. Gender roles are downstream from biology. Why are you dodging? Who the ever-loving is Jislik? The guy you're currently dodging. Feel free to hop on stream to explain this take to us, enlightened one, okay? Successful guys equals guys who don't give a fuck. Successful guy equals guys who don't dodge Jislik. Loser and coward.
The irony in that. Oh, successful guys are guys who don't give a fuck. Here's his alt account.
The guy who dodges Jislik in spite of being on X all day, usually named Rollo. And then Seattle Sports Junkie responds, first mistake is thinking I'm on X all day. Second is thinking I'm dodging anything. Third mistake is thinking I take any of this seriously.
Oh my goodness.
So,
bro, who else will respond like that? This can't be a rando. this can't be a Randall, right? It's got to be Rollo. It's clearly Rollo, right? Because that response was too specific. The guy who said, you spend all day on X. That's what you do. You're spending all your time on X, which honestly, I personally think that's what Rollo does all day, right? Something like that. And that's what a lot of these guys, the older you get, you spew your racism on Twitter. That's just what you do. You just go in and create an alt account. So I'm not surprised that's what old man Rollo is doing these days, right? But like, then he jumps in, proving the point with an alt account, basically responding, saying, thinking I'm on X all day. Like, bro, not only did you just prove that you're on Twitter enough to create an alt account to then clap back with this response, but then, like, bro, like, this is just very telling. Right? Dropping N-bombs with this account, right? You're doing all sorts of weird shit. I mean, come on, bro. Like, it's so telling, Rollo. Rollo, come on, buddy. We know.
This is Rollo responding on his alt. Okay? Did you mean to reply with your alt?
He got called out. He got called out, bro. That's hilarious.
This post was deleted by the post author.
Yeah, honestly, if it was, listen, that's the ultimate proof right there. Because if it wasn't Rollo, it wouldn't have deleted it, right? That person wouldn't have deleted it. Would have just been, they would have just kept posting, right? Because then they would have been a troll. But the reason why we kind of get confirmed it was Rollo is because you deleted it right afterwards, right? That just means, oh, okay, so that probably was this nigga. That probably was him responding to somebody else under an alt account, and he was probably in the middle of trolling somebody else, right? And I told you guys, some of these people, even some of these guys, you'll never know. They might pop up in the chat. They might be lurking around somewhere. They're an alt account of somebody else. They're all these pill poppers that claim that they're above the fray, that they're too high and mighty for you, or they ain't got time to pay attention to anyone commenting or criticizing them and all that bullshit. It's a lie. Okay, they spend so much time on this platform. They have alt accounts, some of them probably in the tens of hundreds, just gone out there, spreading and disseminating their will, right? These guys are doing it. So I won't be surprised. Listen, Rollo probably has way more than that. It's not just that one. He probably has like 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. It's all over the place. And I won't be surprised if all these other pill poppers and all these other guys, they all have alt accounts too, okay? It just shows you how much they really care.
And then he insta-blocks the guy who's been hounding him. Now he's responding to himself. This right here, in general terms, women do not care about looks as much as men think they do.
Yes. I totally forgot about that. Y'all remember that? Rollo was laid up on that bed, barefooted. And chat, the only reason we knew it was a black dude in the bedroom with Rollo barefooted is because we saw it in the reflection of his glasses. Yeah, the dumbass wore glasses inside and had some black dude take a picture of him while he's like all barefoot, cross feet on the bed, right? It was like, what? Who in the right mind taking a zesty photo like this? Like, what's going on? Turns out it was I remember that. Yeah, I remember that, bro. Oh my goodness, dude. Yo, a lot of these guys, I won't be so. Yo, chat. What if Rollo likes black dudes? Hang on. Hear me out now. Hear me out, chat. Look, we're finding about the undercover racism, right? Clearly, he's not all that interested in his wife. He's doing a bunch of, you could classify some oddly zesty or saying some oddly zesty loner shit with some of these pill poppers, right? What if, just saying this, what if this guy, all of this is just, it comes from somewhere, right? Maybe he's into black dudes. Right? Maybe. I don't know. Because why is that nigga in your bed taking pictures of you laid up in your bed, bro? Like, why? Like, most normal men aren't having grown-ass men take photos of them in their bedrooms. Rollo, like, I think that's what it. And now we find out that you out here with undercover racist platform. I think he likes black dudes, bro. I think these guys, do not underestimate them. These pill poppers, they're zesty. Some of these guys, they're zesty. You can't believe it, bro.
With men, you are correct. That said, women are far more fixated on a man's look. So now you're talking to yourself on your alt and still dodging Gislick. This account was also spamming him, but this is the first time it mentioned the alt account. Rollo also blocked this account for noticing his alt. I wonder what he's got going on to say here. Hold on. Krieger, can I show these on stream? So here is what the alt is getting up to. What is Rollo getting up to when he thinks nobody is looking? All right. And nobody knows. Let's see. He's not even trying to hide it anymore. Why hide it? Own it. Their move. Okay.
Yo, come on. Come on, bro. And these are the people that, and you wonder why, because some of y'all be thinking, well, I don't know why some of these right-wingers would validate some guy like Nick Fuentes. I mean, wasn't he out there glorifying Hitler and all these people like that? No, it's because these guys, when I've been telling you on Twitter, there's a bunch of racism. I wasn't joking, bro. Like, that's why I found it so, it's completely hypocritical that Elon Musk tried to ban Destiny, because it's like, bro, hold up, talk about, like, all this racist shit that goes on your platforms, nothing. Y'all are just okay with it, but y'all supposed to be free. Okay, I mean, whatever. It's just the math ain't math here, because you're banning somebody else for this, and you're just conveniently allowing a whole bunch of this. But Rollo, this right here is damning. All right, because again, you're saying, why hide it? Why hide your love for the Klansmen? Why hide it? Just own it and move on. It's their move. Bro, hey, listen, Rollo, why hide your racism under an alt account? Just own it and move on. It's like, bro, you're a fucking pussy, bro. You're a fucking
Seems
pussy.
Pro KKK. Again, Reverend Ray Sisman. Apparently, he really hates Reverend Ray Sisman. White history always repeats itself. With the fist in the air and Trump. Oh my God. Hold on. We got to pause this. Here are some of his posts that just say the N-word. Okay. So right history always repeats itself. I'm failing to see how this is bad.
Yo, that's crazy. Well, first of all, time out. Like, whoever put this photo together, that's crazy. Like, you can't make this comparison and then just say he's Hitler, bro. That's wild, because he was getting shot right here. But like, with the context noted, bro, like, why don't you see it as a bad thing, Rollo, that somebody's comparing your president to Hitler? I wouldn't see that as bad, because I don't want to be supporting somebody that people are comparing to Hitler. I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to be supporting a party that embraces someone like Nick Fuentes. I'm sorry. That's just a no-brainer, right? I'm not supporting that. If you embrace a guy like that, you're not for me. You clearly don't. You don't represent my interest or anything I care about. So what the fuck? What am I doing over here, right? So again, it's crazy. So you saying you're failing to see how this is bad? Listen, it's bad on multiple levels. It's bad on one thing, because like, first of all, even I think this is wrong. And I think it's wrong because y'all, I mean, why compare him to Hitler? Like, that's crazy. That's a crazy comparison, especially this photo of him holding his hand up. Like, he's holding his hand up because he just got shot. Like, the guy could have been dead in that photo. So I actually have a problem with this photo, but for the completely different reason, right? And honestly, I would think that most Trump supporters would agree with my statement, right? Like, yeah, that's a wrong comparison. But for you to sit there and say, yeah, you know what, having a picture of Trump who got almost attempted assassinated on one side, being compared to Hitler, I don't see the problem here. I don't see the problem with that, bro. That's crazy. Like, you can't even see the bro. That's crazy. You're clearly, your racism is on a different level, my boy.
Remember, this is Rollo's alt account. Here's his alt account just saying the N-word.
He says you can't. Oh, he not even saying the N-word that ends with an A. He going back old school. He says, you can't handle the truth, Negro. Oh my goodness. Oh, Rollo taking it back to them good old boy days. Yeah. Look at that. You can't handle the truth, Negro. Wow. God damn, Rollo. You are showing your age, bro.
Just casually, just everywhere, all over the place. Just
this.
really loves it. Sitting hard on it.
Shit, bro.
Move on. Just every.
Look, yo, Negro slaves is your league. Simplicity is powerful. You can't, yo, that's racist. That's gotta be racist, bro. That's gotta be racist. I mean, what the fuck? Negro slaves is your league. Simplicity is powerful. What is that? That's gotta be racist, bro. Like, chat, don't you agree? Like, what does that even mean? Who talks like that?
Everywhere, May 27th, May 25th. Well, we got to X off some of these things. They're taking up so much space.
What kind of computer you got?
There's more than I'm showing you. I'm just not going to go through all of it.
No. Go to God.
Oh, there's an iShow speed. Let's just go to his account.
Yeah.
Let's see what Seattle.
It's probably.
Wouldn't it be funny if this account had me blocked too?
It's got to be down right now.
I've never seen it before, so.
He says the imagined and delusional struggle of a Negro slave. Why is yo? I'm not. I don't know if I like him saying the N-word, bro. It's just like, this is wild.
Nigel 1804151. This is why you should never trust any of these accounts. Sensitive skinned bitch. Apparently, just lets all his rage out here.
It's still active. Oh, Rollo, you're a different kind of stupid.
Frauds until we make World Series. For a beta male, this is very much his language.
This is crazy.
Can we load it in yet? Okay. I still don't understand how this idiot became famous. He's only famous on a plantation. Remember, this is Rollo Tomassi's alt.
He's only famous on a plantation, bro. Yo, that's wild. Like you're even just discrediting the worldwide fame Speed has, bro. That's wild. Now, although I don't agree. Like, listen, he's running around barking at people and doing shit like that. But that's the new age, right? The kids love that shit. The young guys, they love the wild, fucking screaming type of streamers. That's why guys like ISO Speed, they do so well. Kai Cenat, they do so well, right? Because they're out here doing all their yelling and screaming stuff and they're spazzing out. But people love that shit, right? But he's built a global audience and following, and nigga's talented too, because he was doing music videos. ISO Speed's got music out there, right? So yeah, it's trolling, but you can tell he's got talent, right? But to just say he's only famous on a plantation, you're basically just wiping out the effort and the talent this kid clearly has, right? Like, listen, like I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that they do, but like ISO Speed, bro, they got talent, bro. Like, get out of here with this, Rollo.
Jeez. Crazy. This is so big. I actually can't even load half of it. 5 straight losses, terrible offense. Offense, another problem. Just the opposite. You are alone. Notice it, own it, live it. Don't insult.
Fuck. Just the opposite Negro. Why is he obsessed with Negro, bro? You are alone here. Notice it, own it, live it. So he's probably responding to somebody in a racist thread, right? And he's like, "Oh, you're just the opposite, Negro. You're alone here. You're the only one here, boy." Yo, the fact that he's using old school racist terms like Negro, right? You could tell he a real racist, bro. You could tell he not even saying nigga. He's saying Negro. Like he trying to take you to them boy days. Like, it is crazy.
Gorillas at your local auction. He's not actually watching N-word. The zoo is just one of many. Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a wild photo, bro. It's a wild photo, right? They should like, if anything, Myron's face should be cropped and put right here. I, you know what? My next thumbnail, I'm gonna take this photo. I'm gonna put Myron's face right over here. All right, somebody, oh no, don't come at me because he actually put a clown mask on or a clan mask on, so it makes sense. Like, yo, this is wild, bro.
Own it, their move. They need a plantation to pick some cotton. Oh my!
They need a plantation. Yo, this is racist, chat. I don't care what you say. This is racist. You can't tell me somebody out here spewing this shit. They remind me like if you date, like let's say some of y'all brothers who've dated some of these country girls before, right? You go see the grandparents, and the grandparents aren't hip to the new era, and they're telling you stories and saying things and speaking like they're back in their day, if you know what I'm talking about. And you just like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm out of here. Y'all niggas are weird. All right? That's what I'm talking about, dude. Rollo sounds like that. He sounds like that old racist, senile grandpa that just wants the world to be back what it was. These Negroes belong on the plantation. Like, bro, shut up. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what is this? Like, you got exposed because now, like, this same account commenting on all these other posts saying all this racist bullshit somehow is tied to Rollo Tomassi. So, so if Rollo, if you're saying this account isn't you, do you somehow just have a way of attracting racists to your platforms? People that support this type of bullshit, that thinks that black folks belong in plantations? How does your friend Donovan Sharp feel about that? Don't you have a black best friend, Donnie boy? Oh wait, that's just one of your slaves on the plantation, right? Hey, Donnie, hey, you're just another slave on Rollo's plantation. This is crazy to me, bro. Hey, Donovan Sharp, hey, Donnie boy, why are you so quiet about this? Rollo's your boy. You would go to the ends of the earth to defend this guy, and all of a sudden you're quiet about this allegation that's clearly has got some meat to it. Really, Donnie? So maybe the black manosphere, Donovan Sharp, wasn't too wrong in booting your dumb ass out. Because, you know, some black folks, they do harbor hate for other black people. It don't really even fucking matter.
Gosh, Rollo is unhinged. I wonder if his black viewers are aware of this. If you're a watcher of Rollo Tomassi and you're a person of color, are you aware that his alt thinks that apparently just any 2024 black rapper or singer needs a plantation?
Yeah. I'm dead ass. I think some of these black folks in the pill popping spaces actually believe this shit. Listen, I've been telling y'all for a while now, there's some black folks in these pill popping spaces that will use their blackness to get famous. All right. But like a lot of them, they start attracting a subset of crowd, which is other black people that are okay with this like bullshit, especially the black manosphere. Like they're known for this shit, some of them, right? Like a lot of them, they like if it has something to do with hatred against black women or hatred against like the Pookie class, right? They spring into action. They spring into action, and you will see the inner racism come out of a lot of these folks, bro. We've seen it with the Pearl Saga, how these guys came out of all Lord of corners and the crack in the alleys of the internet to defend Pearl throughout this whole racist shit. Some of them even defending Nick Fuentes. Even after on Pearl's podcast, he glorified how Hitler was not a bad dude. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I don't care what what you are. If you got black folks out here saying, yeah, you know, Nick Fuentes is not so bad. He's not so bad. I don't know. Like, yeah, they absolutely buy into this shit. That's why I tell you, a lot of this stuff that happens in this peel popping spaces, it's radicalization, right? So again, I'm not surprised that Homeland Security is investigating y'all niggas because y'all do radicalize these people. Like I've never seen it in my life, but there are black folks that they will clap for this. They're black, fresh and fit fans right now. They are all sitting there following and supporting Fresh and Fit. But meanwhile, they sat there on Rumble while he was on Sneeko stream with a KKK hoodie on, doing Nazi salutes. Yeah, there were black folks following Fresh and Fit then, and they still are following them now. They don't care. The internet's fucked up. People don't even care about what their ancestors been through, right? That shit's a thing of the past in their ideology or in their mindset. To them, it doesn't matter. They will follow what they want to follow. It's sad. But what she's talking about here, black folks, right? Because I think this lady is trying to make an appeal to the black people following Rollo. How could you guys follow such a man and he thinks you belong on a plantation? Some of these dudes, they don't care. Like, they don't give a fuck, and that's scary. If y'all think I'm lying, you're high, right? Or maybe not, I don't know, but I have witnessed a lot of this shit, and like, honestly, I first peeked it when a lot of these guys, the rhetoric against their own women was crazy. I was just like, okay, yeah, there might be some undercover hatred here going on. And then over time, you start to see it, and pretty soon they expose themselves. And that's why the Black Manosphere is dead. It's done. It died out, right? After the Pearl thing. The Pearl thing was the beginning of the downfall, because everybody saw exactly what type of timing y'all niggas were on, right? They knew that all y'all, we got to bring black men back to excellence. It was cap. Y'all are just a bunch of self-hating people out there running around hating on your women and hating on yourselves, right? And it all just got exposed. So again, like, chat, I'm not surprised, bro. So, Erudite, listen, you trying to appeal to the black people still following Rollo after this? It's falling on deaf ears. These niggas are too far gone. So they belong over there. Why even try to bring them back? Why even, like, even some of the people that follow Candace Owens? No. Stay over there, so we know exactly who y'all niggas are. We gotta know. Just stay over there. Yeah. If after all the bullshit Candace done pulled, all these other pundits done pulled this racist crap, and you still think, oh, they're so great though. Stay over there. You're fine. You're all right, bro. But shout out to y'all for being here. Y'all gonna be anywhere in the world right now. But y'all, we got a super chat. Shout out to She Stole My Thunder with the 5 says Rollo be on OnlyFans selling foot pics and the N-word passes. Yeah. Probably got an alt account pretending to be black. Bro, I wouldn't put it past him. He probably has multiple alt accounts pretending to be black. Right, and just to try to whitewash the racism. It's crazy. It says hashtag sell yourself any way you can. It's crazy, dog. Like, I won't be surprised they do that, bro. But hey, chat, what do you think? Okay, listen, we got to do it. It's been about minutes since we've done a 1 and 2, right? But let's do this here. Let's do this poll. Let's talk about this. Okay, put a 1 if you believe that account, the Seattle Sports Junkie, right? If you believe that account was Rollo Tomassi, put a 1, okay? And that's got to be based off of what you've seen here. And that is that tweet where that account responded very clearly and sharply to ZZZ, their post and shit, right? Or 2, do you believe, no, Duke, okay, come on. I know Rollo sucks, but Duke, saying that the Seattle Sports Junkie account that somehow has been found to say a bunch of racist shit that a lot of people can't deny is fucking racist doesn't mean it's Rollo. Duke, there's not enough evidence to even show that this account is even racist to begin with, Duke. Let's just be honest, okay? So how do we even know this account belongs to Rollo? I don't know. I will have y'all vote. Listen, I don't care. just vote what you think. You're not gonna be judged here, all right? Listen. The whole reason why we don't have echo chambers in this platform and we're completely unique is because, listen, we crash out on both sides. We crash out on the left. We crash out on the right because they do a bunch of dumb shit, and you just gotta be like, yo, y'all are pissing me off. Y'all both need to be exposed, right? That's what it is. So you be free to spill your opinions. I mean, some people out here, they're supporters of lefties, and some people are supporters of righties. So please, if you think that Rollo, he wasn't racist, put a 2. There's nothing wrong. Just put a 2, right? If you think Rollo was racist, put a 1. This shit was crazy, bro. But listen. I know I took a while to get to a video, bro, but I was sick, Chad. I was sick. It was bad, bro. Like, my blood pressure went up, right? It was 171 over 116. That's like damn near critical level. So I had to take care of some shit. But we're good now. We're back at it. So we're gonna be hitting y'all with it back to back, bro. But listen, it's stuff like that happens. You just gotta make sure you're taking care of yourself, take care of your health, because anything can happen in this world, bro. So you're here today, gone tomorrow. Life comes at you fast. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
But ass.